Ben, Yanni, thank you so much for joining us today. Ben, there's so much that goes into being a builder. You see successes and failures, and there's just so much. You know, people don't wake up in the morning and decide I'm going to be a builder today. Tell us about the history of Canderel. How did we get to where we are today?
So the company started in Montreal 50 years ago. Our headquarters is still in Montreal. We have offices right across the country, Quebec City, Ottawa, Toronto, Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. The company is privately owned by an individual named Jonathan Wiener, a very philanthropic individual, very highly respected, Order of Canada. The Toronto market was our first market in terms of condominium development. It's been 30 years of consistent activity. Started in the Etobicoke waterfront with several projects there. And then we shifted downtown. The model has typically been transit-oriented projects in urban settings, and not just one tower or one project and move on. We've historically liked build neighborhoods to improve neighborhoods that already exist.
A lot of consumers wonder what builders start thinking about before they decide to go into an actual neighborhood. Like, what is it? What's the science, or what's the process, methodology involved in a builder deciding this is a tract of land we want to develop? Tell us a little bit more about that.
So for us, it's really about trying to fill a void. Each and every one of our projects has to have something, a unique aspect to it. Whether it's the location, the timing, something unique about the design, something unique about the structure of the financing, the partnership, whatever it may be. We're not I refer to ourselves as not being a commodity developer. We're trying to offer something a little bit different, something lasting, provide buyers with some flexibility. For example, one of our projects right now, we're sitting in the sales center right now, has a boutique component that offers buyers flexibility. If a buyer wants to purchase an entire floor, it's there. When we moved from the Etobicoke waterfront on our first projects, further downtown, we looked at College Park. And we said, here's a parking lot, a series of parking lots in the middle of the city. It feels like no man's land, but you're a short walk up to Yorkville, you're a short walk to the financial district. Here's an opportunity for us to create a community. And we developed 4 buildings around that block. We still own the office building, 777 Bay Street, after 20 years on that block. We did something similar in King West with our DNA projects, 3 buildings there, Massey Harris Lofts. So and the unique part of DNA, I don't know if people realize, it's been a long time, DNA stands for Downtown's Next Address. That's how we came up with the name. The marketing program was all about kind of young and trendy, and it still is a very young and trendy building.
It's great that you are unique, and Canderel has a different view on how to build, where to build, and what they look out for in certain demographics and certain pockets of neighborhoods. How does sustainability play a part in how Canderel decides to move forward?
Sustainability is a long-term commitment. There's no quick fix to it. And so our view within Canderel is to do a little bit more today than we did yesterday, and a little bit more tomorrow than we're going to do today. And not to do just the bare minimum. Toronto, we're blessed, the green standards require a fair amount, but we're looking to do a little bit more. So for example, in our 4A project, there's geothermal we've committed to. Another project by Bayview Village, it's very early stage, we're also exploring geothermal. We've contemplated smart glass systems in the past, and we will one day do one of them. We just haven't found the right project where it makes sense.
Ben, with the types of consumers that you're looking to attract, obviously every project, based on where you guys put it, is going to attract a certain type of demographic or a certain type of profile in terms of wants and needs and whatnot. In terms of the constant innovation, I mean, things are changing all the time. You've talked about these really cool products that you're potentially going to put into future projects. What's the thought process in sourcing these things? How do you guys decide what makes sense and what doesn't? How do you make sure it's not overwhelming for certain people that might be looking into buying into that building?
So great question. And the key for us is really about providing flexibility. There isn't one kind of sweeping quick solution. It's a series of smaller options, whether it's certain aspects of a smart home or certain aspects of smart glass or security or lighting, shades, whatever it may be. It's providing buyers with flexibility to select what they want. But from our perspective, it's also about not pigeonholing ourselves. We try very hard and we insist on not choosing something that requires sole sourcing, because technology changes, suppliers change, so it prevents our industry to a certain extent from doing anything kind of too creative, because you can't marry yourselves to one technology, one supplier, given how much changes during a development cycle. And that is part of the challenge of our business, is you're building a sales center, you're designing a building, you're selling a product 3, 4, 5 years before you're building it, and things change. So coming back to flexibility, we need to be able to pivot to ensure that at the end of the day we are delivering on our promises.
Based on what you've said, Ben, Canderel have exposed themselves to a number of different styles and types of projects in and outside of Toronto. Tell us how you look to satisfy your customers. It's not a bespoke product or a project. You're fairly flexible on the way that you approach real estate and land acquisition. Tell us a little bit more about how you look to satisfy your clients.
So it's very important for us to think about every detail. And we're busy. We're developing lots of projects across the country, but not too many that it doesn't allow us to pour our heart and soul into every single project and every single detail. And one of the unique aspects of our company is that we are multifaceted. We're office developers, retail developers. We have past hotel experience, obviously condominium, purpose-built rental, property management, both on the commercial and residential side. So it allows us, with internal expertise, to conceive of, we hope, every potential pinch point on every project and anticipate it, so that from a customer experience standpoint, it's seamless. And we need to make sure that whether it's at the very early marketing and sales stage, that we're catering to their wants and needs, and that we're following them all throughout the process. Through RAD has many touch points with our customers, our development team has many touch points. Even just within the company, none of us have assistants. We have phones that we pick up, and it doesn't matter who calls, when they call, we're there to answer questions. We're there to provide services, and that's the way we look at it. And the minute we stop doing that, whether it's through our attitude or through an average project that doesn't meet a customer's needs, will be the end of our existence. So while we've been around 50 years, it's not by accident. The way we look at our experience in real estate is we're kind of auditioning the first time every day.
Yanni, so with everything that we're talking about, there's so much excitement, and we're just really looking forward to what's next. Tell us a little bit more. What can you share with us?
Yes, so Reiki, we have many exciting projects to share. We have a few buildings at 4A Forest Hill that we are selling currently. We have inventory units at 900 and 908 Sinclair that we are selling, same as 625 Shepherd that is being topped off, and that will be done next year. And then going to the next projects, we can tell you we have another very prime location at Bayview Village, Bayview and Shepherd, along the subway line that's happening, and also one of the last waterfront piece of land by Lakeshore and Bathurst that will be happening very soon.